My reaction to RWBY Volume 2, Chapter 12, the finale of RWBY Volume 2. This has been a really fun season. We had some pretty awesome fights. I'm glad to have all episodes full length and no more half length like part 1, part 2s that we had in Volume 1. All episodes were at least 11 to 15 minutes. The last one was 15 minutes, and I think this one may be a bit longer. Awesome. So I know there's a post-credit scene at the end of every season, so I'll be staying around to watch that as well. Last time on RWBY, the rest of Team RWBY found the underground city where Torchwick and the White Fang were hiding out. They got onto a train to make for the city, and Team RWBY, Ublik and Zwei headed onto the train to stop them. So while they were going on the train, they saw that the caboose and some of the other cars had bombs in them, and then they were decoupled from the trains as they were about to go off. And that created an opening to allow the Grim to enter the tunnel. The plan was to break out of the tunnel that was sealed away and allow the Grim to enter Vale through the protective barrier that it already had. So they had to get to the train to stop it. So Ruby, Ublik, and Zwei stayed on the train to fight off the robots and the White Fang and then find a way to stop the train. Meanwhile, Yang, Blake, and Weiss went inside the train and headed for the controls. So they all found opponents along the way. Neo showed up again, the girl who had the umbrella, and Yang wanted to fight her this time. Last time they fought, they turned into glass and got away, and Yang wanted to pay back for that. Fortunately, Neo's fighting style was something Yang wasn't used to. She was able to dodge or block everything Yang threw at her and attacked her at just the right moments. Her attacks lacked a lot of force, but they hit at just the right time that it still had a lot of impact. So they were not very powerful, they're very impactful as well. And that also works well against Yang's semblance. Her power is as she keeps taking blows, she can turn the force into more power for herself. But Neo's fighting style wears Yang down, and since her attacks don't have a lot of force, there's not much power Yang can absorb. She just keeps dodging and waits for the perfect opportunity to strike. Her attacks may not be that powerful, but they definitely hit at the right spot, and Yang was able to beat her because of that. She flipped her around and tossed her to the sky, and as she kept dodging, she waited and then kicked her at just the right moment where she would feel it, even though it wasn't very powerful. It looked like Neo was going to beat Yang. The back of her the handle of her umbrella had a long needle at the end of it. Also, I liked how she used her umbrella as a shield to block Yang's punches. So, as she was about to finish off Yang, another girl in a mask wearing red showed up, and not Yang, and Neo seemed pretty afraid of her. She immediately retreated as though she knew that she was going into a battle she knew she couldn't win. I don't know who that lady is. I want to think she's Yang's mom, but she's wearing a lot of red. So a part of me is also thinking Summer Rose could also be alive. It's either Ruby's mom or Yang's mom. I'm not too sure. And then Weiss fought a White Fang member who has a grudge against the Schneeder's company. He was like, finally, I get to kill a Schnee. He was happy to be able to kill someone from Weiss's family. Weiss did pretty well against her. Eventually, he found an opening and managed to take her down. Weiss got a lot of strong hits in. She made awesome use of her glyphs and her agility. But in the end, he found an opening, grabbed her, slammed her down, and took her away. And then, before they progressed, Weiss gave Blake a dust cartridge that allowed her to fare a lot better against Torchic. She was able to incorporate the dust into her semblance and create like fire clones, stone clones, and ice clones to help fight against Torchic. So in the end, she created an ice clone that trapped Torchic's K in there, allowing Blake to finish him off and knock him down. But in the end, Blake had to let him go to save Weiss. And then in the end, the train broke through the sealed exit, and now all the Grim have entered Vale. Vale's in trouble, and now they all need to get together and stop all the Grim. So I think maybe all the students at Beacon and maybe the teachers will show up, and we finally get to see them all in action. Maybe we finally get to see Ozpin fight, and Penny can finally show off some awesome stuff too. And maybe the rest of Team Juniper will finally find out what Team Ruby has been up to, and they'll ask for answers. Sun and Neptune were hoping to explore the kingdom when it was a bit more normal, but seems that's not possible anymore since they brought the craziness back to Vale. Not by intention, of course, but for now they have to stop all the grim infesting in the city before they can do anything else. So let's see how that turns out. This is RWBY Volume 2, Chapter 12, Breach. The episode is starting right now. Last time I'm going to hear this. Next season we'll get a new opening, I'm guessing. Anymore. It's time to say goodbye. And it's time to don't keep me on you, RWBY. What's gonna happen now? Is that John? Yeah, it's John.
Waffles.
Waffles.
What?
It's RWBY, isn't it?
Hello? Ah.
What the? What happened?
Ruby?
I'm sure they're fine.
You think?
Probably a tile.
Team RWBY has always performed exceptionally in the field. We should be focusing on our own mission.
I'm gonna be deputies.
I just got this feeling. I don't know.
John.
You better get there. What the? What's that?
We're changing our mission. Everyone on board.
Oh well. Time to go.
Ray, make it out to that village another time.
Wait, what?
Listen to the city.
What did he say about the village? Okay, so I wrote. He wanted to go there, but why? Cinder.
Sure looks like it.
That's still days away.
So, what do we do?
So, Cinder. Oh, there's a lot of Grim. They need help. Well, for now I have to fight. Ah. Oh. Ah, nice. Oh, bug! Never move moves? Ah. Yang. Ooh. Ooh, I like that shot. The first person mode. Ooh. Wait, was that a spear or ice? Oh, like a javelin or something? Nora! Yes! Nora! Aha! Oh, hello, Kira. Come on, John. I know you can help out. You're killing yourself.
Okay, who's first?
Big one behind you, John! Why do you always get the big ones?
Okay, you're first, huh?
Come on, John.
No, that's fine.
You should have more confidence now, right? Wait. Let's come on, John.
Done this before.
Oh, go, John! Look at him go! Please tell me that it worked. Yes! Awesome!
Nobody move! You and your detectives!
We have badges, so you know it's official.
What? Nice, you too. What's that? Is that Atlas? Seems like it. That's Ironwood, isn't it? Oh, it's on the badge. That's ironwood, isn't it? Yeah, that's definitely ironwood. Yep, those are definitely Atlas soldiers. Well, at least you have backup now. This thing. Ah! From low. PC. Emerald. 20. Ah! Look at you trying to play the hero. Oh. Okay, so you have 2 points. Whoa! Oh! It's sickles. Whoa! What the? Oh, those things. Why? Oh no. Where's Oobleck? Oh, the other team. Team Coffee. What is the song? Yes. Ooh, it's a long story. No, that's called long story. With Velvet. Ooh, I really like his claws. Not claws, but sword. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Is that his Zora thing? Whoa. What the? Oh, that was cool.
Nice hustle, Fox. Good job.
They exploded and the thorns hit the others.
You just destroyed my favorite clothing store.
Oh. Oh.
Prepare to die.
Ooh. So she fights with the purse? Okay. A purse is a weapon. What is the purse made of? Death Stalker. She fights with the purse. Is that also a gun? What does she fight with?
Come on, you spent all semester building that up. Don't waste it here.
Wait, what? What's in there? What the? What kind of purse is that? Oh, machine gun. Look at that big gun. Never more that is gone. They are more experienced. It's scary though. Velvet. Wait up. Sorry. So what can this guy do? Here they come. Oh, okay, he has something too. Whoa. The fire is going to go on it. Huh? Oh. Glinda. Back up. Look at that. We'll just torture him. Oh, he's putting it back together. Right, of course. You can fix anything. Oh, it's already done.
Oh, I can't believe that you caught me. You've really taught me the error of my ways.
Nah, I don't think
Watch
it's
the
done.
hat.
Nah, I don't think it's done. Emerald. No. No. This isn't over yet. There's still something going on, I'm sure of it. Door trick isn't done. That was awesome though. I loved all those fights. That song.
We did it. We did it.
If we don't get extra credit for that, I'm going to be seriously disappointed.
Weiss, a two-headed snake literally crushed a bakery. I wouldn't count on it.
Plus, I mean, we didn't solve everything. A lot of people were hurt, and we still don't even know why they did this or who that mystery girl was.
Cinder.
Not every story has a neat and tidy ending.
We might not have all of the answers, but we do have a lot of dangerous people behind bars. And I think that's something we can be proud of.
Yeah.
Nice.
And if anyone tries something like this again, We'll be there to stop them.
Yang.
Yay, teamwork, camaraderie, good guys, go.
Look at his wife.
Good job. So, what now?
I'd suggest training for the tournament, but I think we have that covered at this point.
Is that
So then...
next season?
Time for bed?
Oh, please.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Alright,
I'm going to sleep
time to sleep.
forever.
That's why. That was awesome. Ubix mattered in the fire. Wait, no, that'll wait.
Austin!
Who is this?
Yes, Councilman.
Councilman.
You've left us with no choice. The Vital Festival tournament cannot be broadcast, let alone held.
What?
We are unable to ensure the safety of the citizens.
They're cancelling it? What?
Therefore, we have reached out to the Atlas Council, and together have decided that the best option is to appoint General Ironwood as head of security for the event.
Oh.
Thank you, Councilman. Our kingdom is
Okay.
happy to lend as many troops as it takes to ensure that this event runs as smoothly and safely as possible.
That sounds
And
really
we
good.
thank you,
Troops.
General,
Will that be all?
for now. But after this festival comes to a close, we are going to have a serious discussion regarding your position at Beacon Academy.
What?
General Ironwood's reports of these last few weeks have left us somewhat concerned.
Hey!
I'm sure you
Ironwood. Come on. Osman's doing the best he can here.
This is the right move, Osman. I promise. I will keep our people safe. You have to trust me.
Yeah, I know he means well and all. I mean, I totally believe he means well, but I don't think this is the best option. I totally believe you mean well in general, but I'm not so sure.
You brought this on yourself.
He was having the doubts about Osman. Penny?
Leave us.
Is that Penny? No.
I've been informed that
Totally.
so far you've refused to cooperate with the authorities. I know this might be hard to believe, General, but I'm not the biggest fan of local law enforcement. How about the world's strongest military power?
Atlas?
First impressions? Not great. I'm going to give you one chance. Who's really behind all of this? Isn't it obvious? You're looking at him.
Cinder.
Very well then. What's the matter, General?
He's not worried one bit.
I thought you wanted to talk.
He's not worried one
The
bit.
council's given me custody over you for as long as I see fit. So you can make yourself comfortable. I can assure you we'll have plenty of time to talk. Oh, wonderful.
He's not worried in the slightest. This is all part of some plan, isn't it?
All in all, I'd call today a success.
How
Those
so?
stupid kids really made a mess of things.
Yeah, a lot of faunus didn't make it out of those tunnels. You still think the White Fang
What?
is gonna listen to us? No.
Oh, go ahead. Hey,
Listen to me.
Adam. Is that him? That's Adam, isn't it? Oh, that's it. Oh gosh. Where's Adam's name? I know he was there. Garrett Hunter. We haven't seen Adam. Finally get to see him again. Only at the end of the season. Is that the end or is there another scene at the end? Or is that the final scene? Oh, is that at the end or is there another scene? Is there another scene? No, there's more. Yang. Why is the hair all like that? It's fully golden. She's going back to Beacon. No, Jesus. Who is that one? Her again. Are you her mom?
Who are you?
Oh, she looks just like Yang.
We have a lot to talk about.
That's her mom, isn't it? She looks just like her. That was her mom, wasn't it?
We're here to help you. We're superheroes. Come on. Oh, that's nice. Awesome. X-ray vision.
Superheroes? Really?
Well, since the season's end, I guess it's okay to watch this now. That was a cool finale. The fights with the Grimm were awesome. We got to see a lot of people in action. First, Team RWBY had their moments, obviously, with RWBY taking out a group of them at once, Yang going into the air and firing, and then being taken out from above. Blake also took out a few of them and sort of voice. I think she created like a nice javelin or something. I just wanted to check to be sure. No, it's like a sword. I'll put it in slow motion. Watch it. Half speed play. Okay, she's sliding. She stabs that one. Then what does she do? Okay, it's a giant sword. Okay, no, that was a sword. It wasn't a javelin or anything. Also, I know John said something about the village that Ren wanted to go to. I want to what he said exactly. Okay, so he told Ren they go to the village. So Ren wants to go to that village for some reason. I think it may be a personal reason. And John told him they go another time. Speaking of which, John finally got his moment, and this time he didn't need any help from Pyrrha. He took out a giant Ursa all by himself. He's like, yeah. His swordplay has definitely gotten stronger since season 1. He's now able to take on a giant Ursa all by himself. This time, Pyrrha didn't need to help him out. He did it all by himself this time. Pyrrha was happy. I love how Nora just came in riding on a hammer and smacked into that one. She just crashed into him and then hit him. Is that what she... I remember getting into it, but then... I love seeing Nora do that. Okay, no, yeah. And then after that, the soldiers of Atlas showed up to lend a hand, followed by the teachers and Team Coffee as well. I'm kind of sad Team Cardinal didn't show up to help out, but oh well. Because I'd finally have a reason to actually like Cardinal. Oh well. It was cool seeing Team Coffee. That girl had a purse that turns into a big, I don't know what that type of gun is called, a revolving thing that just... She fights with the purse, smack, and then it turns into some huge thing and... That was crazy! How did that all fit in there? That's probably the craziest weapon so far. One of the craziest actually. Even more so than RWBY said and Oobleck's smacking thing. That was awesome. That was so huge. It just... Small thing, it had such a huge thing inside. And then Mercury and Emerald showed up just to make it seem as though they're trying to stop it. And Emerald has 2 guns that can turn into small sickles, so it's a bit like Ren's guns. Okay, and then at the end of the day, Torture got captured. I was kind of hoping we get to see Ozpin fight, but guess not. So Torture got captured. He doesn't seem worried at all. It's as though this whole thing was all part of the plan, and he got captured, and he refused to talk to Ironwood, and he seemed not the slightest bit bothered about him being a captive, and about Ironwood being allowed to keep Torchic for however long he wants to. And then Osprey spoke with the council, who were worried about the Vital Festival, and decided to let Ironwood run full security for the Vital Festival. Ironwood actually wanted to trust Osprey. He wanted to believe his friend was doing what's right, but there were so many threats coming that he wasn't so sure anymore. He felt like he had to take action. If Osprey won't act, then he will. And so he had taken action and put himself in charge. He's not taking Osprey out of the picture yet, but he's not going to sit by and wait for Osprey to find the right move. He feels like action has to be taken now, so that's what he's doing. Ironwood still wants to believe Osprey can be trusted, but he can't wait any longer. He feels like he has to act right now. And Linda would not like the idea of having a full army of soldiers guarding the whole thing. I thought the Vital Festival would happen this season, but looks like they're going to save it for season 3. They mentioned it back in Volume 1, but it still hasn't happened yet. Maybe Volume 3 is when it'll finally happen. So Team RWBY had a fun day and decided to call it a night and get some sleep. And Cinder thinks the whole day was a success, and that they lost a lot of fauners in the tunnel, a lot of White Fang members. They still want the White Fang on their side, but they think they won't listen to them. Suddenly, Adam, the guy we saw in the black trailer, who's also Blake's mentor, showed up and said the White Fang will listen to him. I guess it makes sense that, well, Blake said that he was also his mentor, so I guess he's part of the White Fang too, and so he seems like someone they will listen to. We're finally getting Adam back, so I wonder how his story is going to turn out. And then what else? Oh yeah, the post-credit scene. So I think she actually is Yang's mom. She has the same red eyes as Yang. So when Yang gets all riled up, her eyes turn red. And she had the same red eyes, and her face looked just like Yang's. So I think she actually is Yang's mom. Maybe next season we'll finally start talking. She said she had a lot to talk about. She is definitely Yang's mom. There's no mistaking that face. They have the same face and the same eyes too. That is definitely her. So as a season as a whole, I loved it so much. A lot of fun. The black things are no longer there. Now it's actual people, and there are a lot of cool fights. I love the food fight we had in the beginning of the season. How they were very creative with everything, copying everybody's weapons. Nora using the pole and the watermelon, Blake using the bread, etc., etc. And then they investigated the White Fang, where we had the cool fight on the highway, where we saw Yang's semblance in full action, where she took out that big robot all by herself. Then we also learned about Yang's mom, and RWBY had a short encounter with Cinder, and she still doesn't know her. They suspect it's the same woman they saw in the first episode, because it actually is. And yeah, so they still don't know a lot about Cinder or her plans yet. And finally the Mountain Clan stuff. It was cool to see that side of Blake to learn more about the grim and all that. And now Yang, Blake, and Weiss have a better idea of why they're here. They're here to help people. It's a job they took up, and their needs can come second. A lot of good character development for both heroes and for villains. A lot of good plot progression. I assume the Vital Festival isn't going to happen until season 3, or volume 3 rather, but I don't know what else is going to happen in there. I assume it's going to start with Yang and her mom having a talk, and then I'm not sure where it's going to go from there. But we'll have to find out next time. However, there are a few World of Remnant episodes that take place before the start of Volume 3, or came out before the start of Volume 3, so I'll be checking those out first before I come back to Volume 3. I enjoyed the season a lot. Let's see how they take it from here. My reaction to Volume 2 of RWBY is now done.